much. My name is Kerwin Olson. That's K-E-R-W-I-N. Last name Olson, O-L-S-O-N. I'm a program director for the Citizens Action Coalition of Indiana, for Indiana's oldest and largest consumer and environmental advocacy group. I'm here today specifically to speak about best available control technologies and ask that those choices do not include carbon capture and waste storage, otherwise known as carbon capture and sequestration. First of all, that's exactly what it is. It's hard to classify it as sequestration when it's not intended for future use. They intend to stick their waste under our ground, basically create massive landfills across our country. So first of all, let's refer to it to what it is. It's carbon capture and waste storage. Secondly, the costs are simply enormous. There's a study from the University of Wyoming suggests storing 80% of today's CO2 emissions from coal-fired power plants alone will cost in excess of $1.6 trillion. That's just storage. That's not including retrofitting, capturing, and transporting. Studies from University of Harvard suggest costs for retrofitting and capturing carbon emissions from coal-fired power plants may cost in excess of 22 cents a kilowatt hour. Number two, it's a huge transference of risk to the public via the tax base, via the rate base. Utility companies, energy companies have not invested a single dime into carbon capture and waste storage, not a single dime of their own money. They expect to shift the entire burden of this to the public via the tax base, via the rate base, because it's simply not a good investment. Venture capitalists today are not investing in carbon capture and waste storage. Venture capitalists in Wall Street are investing in renewable energy and energy efficiency. The only way that these folks can get this done is through massive, massive public subsidies via the tax base and the rate base. It's a non-productive investment. It doesn't make us more efficient. It doesn't create jobs. And it doesn't modernize our electric system. And utilities, coal companies, are the only sector that stand to benefit from carbon capture and waste disposal. For example, in my state of Indiana, right now we have Duke Energy sitting before the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission seeking permission to essentially take $121 million from Duke Energy ratepayers to study and characterize the siting of storing the CO2 waste emissions from their Edwardsport coal plant currently under construction. That's $121 million just to characterize a site to store the emissions from one coal-fired power plant. Not to capture it, not to move it, not to store it, just to do the preliminary studies for characterizing a site for carbon capture and storage. The costs are enormous. It is an unproductive investment. We know yesterday is too late to act on climate change. We must act today. Carbon capture and waste storage is a technology that is 15 to 20 years off in terms of any commercial deployment. But I must preface that by saying Citizens Action Coalition believes there is no such thing as clean coal, that it's the greatest lie of our day. Carbon waste and storage research development should not be considered a best available control technology by the EPA. It will do nothing to mitigate emissions of carbon dioxide. In fact, coal usage will increase somewhere between 30 and 45% through carbon capture and waste storage. Water usage will double. Costs will increase somewhere between 77 and it's been suggested as high as 200%, if not higher, to the ratepayers. It will undermine investments in renewable energy and energy efficiency. Let's keep in mind again, Wall Street has not invested one single dime in carbon capture and waste storage. Yet venture capitalists are investing in renewable energy, energy efficiency. The best available control technology to mitigate CO2 emissions is to shut down coal plants today, and we should be investing on a massive scale immediately in energy efficiency, renewable energy. Again, I ask that carbon capture and waste storage not be considered a best available control technology, and instead we invest immediately in energy efficiency, renewable energy, and shut down these coal plants. Thank you very much.